Good morning, everybody. It's Bishop Deb, and I'm coming to you from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario. I'm down by the river in one of these little parkettes, which I like to visit. Actually, there's a couple of the cars here doing the same thing as me, just looking at the view and maybe talking on their phone and being out and safe in their little capsule. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, and yesterday was St. Paddy's Day. What a boring St. Patrick's Day we had. Oh my gosh. The most I acknowledged it was with cupcakes with green icing. God, we're getting boring. This whole pandemic thing is putting a crimp in a lot of people's styles, huh? I did have a beer, but it wasn't green. It was a harp beer. Irish heritage here. My grandfather was an O'Hara, and he was a fighting Irish with his brothers. They were famous for singing and slugging in New Brunswick way back when. They had a life. They were boisterous boys, and I guess it was a whole different time back in the Fredericton of yore. But he mellowed and he was a great grandfather. We loved him. He would do anything for us. He showered us with gifts, and we didn't realize that on the side he was a bookie. So there was still a little bit of mischievousness to the man. But, he had all this disposable income to spend on us. So who's, in the grand scheme of things, he was a good man, and he loved us and well provided for the family. So what can you do? We all have our little skeletons in the closet, I'm sure. Although it's he was a product of his time, that's for sure. Brilliant man, actually. He didn't have much education, but he could add a row of numbers up in his head that, really, you could throw numbers, all kinds of numbers for him to add up, and at the end he'd have it all right. Or he could divide huge numbers. He could have really, had he gone on to more education or post-secondary stuff or, college, whatever, which was not in the cards for his family back then, he could have, who knows what he could have achieved. But as it is, he made a lot of people happy, and he sure made his grandkids happy. And he was a fun, intelligent man, and could sing. I love to hear him sing. So yeah, St. Paddy's Day, I think of my grandfather. And I also think of this time in this late 70s when I was at Ryerson, going to the Brunswick Hotel in Toronto on St. Patrick's Day. That was surreal. It was the most surreal experience. I was still really young and hadn't been into many bars, and this place was like wild that night. Green beer. I had a green tongue for days. Not that I drank much, but I probably did that night. I can't remember, which is probably a testament to the fact that I did. But I remember at one point we decided to leave. They had a little people throwing contest. That would not be very appropriate now, but they had these guys in harnesses, and they were going to throw them. They're going to toss them. And so we decided that was probably not good, so we left. We're walking down Yonge Street on St. Patrick's Day, and everybody is out, and everybody is feeling their beer. And it was just a bizarre night. Looking back, that was fun, and just wide-eyed me, from the eyes of now, looking back, thinking, what? You couldn't do that now. None of that would be appropriate. It was a different time. When I think of going to the CNE, to the exhibition, as a kid, 10, 11, 12, taking the streetcar and going for the whole day, no cell phones. Mom just let us go. Everybody's mom let them go. It was not a big deal. There was a whole different feeling of safety and security, trusting in the TTC drivers to tell us the right stop, and just this, and maybe trust that we were mature enough. I don't know. Or maybe they just wanted a day that desperately without kids. But we did all kinds of things as children. We would ride our bikes way out east in Scarborough to one of my friends' grandparents owned a little variety store, and we'd sit in the back and eat popsicles and read comic books for a little while, and then we'd head back. It was like our resting place, and we'd have a little break, and then I once almost fell off the Scarborough Bluffs. Really, I honestly missed my footing, and I was hanging on to like a tree, something like a root growing out of the side of the thing, and it took all of my friends to kind of help me back on solid ground. But I would have slid all the way down to the bottom. The things we do, perilous. We are survivors in so many ways, on so many levels, and I'm sure you've got stories too. There are many things we never tell our parents, or I can't even imagine what my kids haven't told me. It's part of growing up, and it's part of being human, and it's part of how we learn what's best not to do sometimes. Don't go near the edge of the bluffs. Live and learn. So I hope that you are all doing well in this crazy time. Numbers are going back up. We're looking at a third wave. Vaccines are rolling out. And I am just ready for some kind of change, some kind of good news, some kind of evidence that this too shall pass. We're getting there slowly but surely. It's one of those things that we look to experience, and we haven't had this experience before. So we really do have to be patient, and that is not a strong suit for many of us. We are not patient people, but we are kind at heart, and we are compassionate for one another. It's teaching us a lot of lessons. It's teaching us a lot of ways to be that perhaps we hadn't considered before. And so there are lessons to be learned in this extended time of waiting. We're trying very hard to ordain people. We've got Bishop-elect Jeanette, who's been waiting to be consecrated now for some time. And we have decided that April 3rd is it. We're going to, even if it's just Bishop Liz and myself, just the three of us, going to probably in my backyard, in the gazebo, outside. But it's Holy Saturday, and it's a really appropriate, wonderful time to celebrate ministry. In the old church, it used to be the time when the community baptized. And just that one time a year, in the really early church, they baptized people. And so now we're going to consecrate a bishop. And even though it's kind of sad in one sense that it's not going to be a blowout celebration with people and, champagne and a reception, we're still doing the work of the church. We're hunkering down, we're being safe, and we're going to continue the work of the church by observing new ministry. We've got 5 priests to ordain. They were supposed to be ordained in October, and that was not going to work. So we're looking at, they come from all over the province. So we're looking at how we can do that safely. And again, it might be in my backyard. It might be just, a very short, simple service so that we can ordain them. We do what we have to do because it's important. It's important to the life of our community, and everybody's trained. They've been waiting. They're ready. And this we can help. This we can do. But we have to do it carefully. So I'm sure that there's lots of things in your life that you've been putting off. Traveling, maybe going to the cottage as often as you can, visiting your friends, visiting people who are very near and dear to you, whom you just have not been able to see. A friend of mine, all of her family lives in New York. She has not seen her grandchild in over a year. They do Zoom and they're in constant contact. It isn't the same as getting that hug. And the way kids grow, it's precious time. So there's lots that we're giving up in this time. There's lots that we've sacrificed. And that will not go, for every sacrifice we make, I think we get it back double or even more in this time. When we're kind to somebody, that kindness is returned to us. When we are patient and extend the benefit of a doubt or whatever, just waiting in the stillness, then we will be rewarded. It's like karma. What goes around comes around. So if we can get through this with some kind of grace and some kind of love to all, then this time next year we'll look back and say, boy, that was a challenge. And, we'll mostly be vaccinated by then, I think. And maybe COVID all the variants and all that kind of thing will just kind of die out as people have the virus less and less. So we still have to be vigilant. We still have to be safe. Numbers are going up here. And it's the variant the UK variant that is the culprit. So, shorter time with people, wear your mask, all the things that have become so second nature to us now. That was so strange in the beginning, remember? It was weird to have the mask all the time or sanitize. Everybody's dealing with dishpan hands because we're washing our hands so much and using sanitizer. My hands have aged over the year, gotta tell you. I got some really good stuff, though, which kind of revitalizes it all. But, you learn how to cope. We are adaptable. We are wonderful human beings, as we are. And so that's my prayer today, that everybody keeps on keeping on. This too shall pass. All those wonderful cliches that give us strength when we need it, There's a truth in those cliches. So let's have a little prayer just to get us on our day. It's been a while since I did a prayer on the go. I've actually attempted them several times, but my life is just too busy. We're trying to take a week off, and we never get a week off, ever. I can't say it's impossible because, of course, we can make a choice. But when we're not doing church stuff, we're doing Angel Lady stuff. And I've got a ton of medallions to get up to Etsy. I've been trying to do this now for weeks. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. I want to get them into people's hands. And it's just finding the time to sit at the computer and post them, put them up there, upload them. So that is my task for today. I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to let anything distract me. Like, I'm going to just go radio silent. Maybe that's the plan. We all need that time. We need that time to just go become hermits, even for a day. And let all the noise and all the voices and all the fears and the worries just dissolve. And just to feel like we have control of our lives is a wonderful thing. We take charge. We do this. This is our plan. These are our choices. And it helps us feel so much more grounded. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Let's have a prayer. Gracious God, we give you thanks for the gift of this new day, this rainy day, as we come past the middle of March. We pray for all those people who are weary, who are fatigued, who are just darn tired of all this stuff. We pray that they would find new inspiration, that they would find ways to re-engage and to know that this too will pass. to give them the courage to move forward, the courage to reach out to those whom they love and share how they're feeling, to give them helpful things that will re-enliven them, help them to be re-inspired, be inspired by life, by the world, by all that they're good at. Shake us out of our lethargy. Help us to take this moment and grab it with gusto and say, this is the day that you have made, and I will be glad and rejoice in it. We pray for all the healthcare workers, all the people who run into the danger, the first responders, the tremendous medical people who are facing unimaginable days. Call on your angels to surround them and bring them strength. And we pray for ourselves because we are tested through this time. Help us to be aware of your love, of your grace, of the blessings that you shower upon us. And all this we pray in your holy name. Amen. Well, I'm going to go back and open up the computer and start posting pictures of my beautiful things. They really are quite incredible. I never know what they're going to look like. I pray with the clay, I bless it, I energize it, and the colors swirl together, and the angels do the rest. And I get angel images, I get Mother Mary images, I get little landscapes, I get bold. Sometimes it's just the color that is exciting in itself. But often there are figures and images, wise wisdom figures, that kind of thing. So I'm going to do that today, and I'll post it up on the Angel Ladies Facebook page that they're done. We also have the web page on the Angel Ladies, the web store. More people see it on Etsy, so I'm going to go there. Anyway, I hope that you have a fruitful and wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.